Good morning, grade 10 students.
Good morning, Mom.
How are you today?
Good, Mom.
Wow, great. Well, can you please turn on your camera so I can see your beautiful faces and smile, class?
Yes, Mom.
Wow. Okay. So, last meeting, I actually sent the files in our Google Classroom, and I hope you check it and I hope you read it in advance. So, anyone here already read the story? Oh, you're all silent. But yeah, don't you worry, guys. I explain you further about this story and I prepared three activities here. But before that, can you see my screen?
Yes, Miss.
All right, thank you so much. Before that, I have an objectives here. So, okay. So at the end of the lesson, the students will be able to identify and describe key individual characters, summarize major conflicts of major characters, and lastly, to further analyze a development of major characters. So I prepared three questions here. Number one question, who do you think is the Lord of the Flies? Why does Jack hate Raph? Why is the backdrop of the war significant in the story? All right. So these questions should be answered later on. Okay. So as what I've said earlier, that I prepared three activities. First is the fishbone diagram. So can you see my screen clearly?
Yes,
All
Mom.
right. So for the first circle, as what you've noticed, there are four circles here in the fishbone diagram, and these are all the key points in the short story. All right. So here, the first is the boys are stranded. So what happened in this time was the boys are stranded since they find themselves stranded on a deserted island and no adults to supervise them. And it happened also that Raph is elected as a leader. And you know what, class? Not everyone is happy, most especially Jack. All right. So the second circle, as what you've noticed, is the beast decided. So although some of the younger boys are scared because they think there is a beast on the island, they all try to civilize by making a fire to signal for help and by building shelters. All right. So the fourth circle is the group is divided. So actually the boys are break into two categories. I mean two groups. One is led by Raph and one is led by Jack. So what happened here is Simon sets out to discover the truth about the beast, but in a horrific turn of events is killed by the others. So the last circle is the boys are rescued. So Jack and his tribe try to hunt Raph down and attempt to smoke him out by starting a huge fire. But a passing ship sees the fire and rescues all the boys. And actually, Raph is saved from a certain death, and the rescuing officer chastises the boys for not behaving in a British manner. All right. So another activity class is I prepared 10 list of vocabulary here as what you've noticed in the story. There are a lot of vocabularies and words that we don't know what is the meaning. So first and foremost, I let us, okay, let us define first what is vocabulary. So are you still listening?
Of course, Miss.
All right. So again, turn on your camera so I can see you. Okay, thank you. Well, for vocabulary, what is vocabulary? Can I have Kimberly?
Body of words, miss.
Okay, great answer. When we say vocabulary, it is the body of words used in a particular language. So here, number one sentence, Ralph disentangled himself cautiously and stole away through the branches. So what is the meaning of disentangle?
Free from binds, miss.
Very good. It is free from binds. All right. Number two, upheavals of fallen trees. What is the meaning of upheaval? It is disturbance. Number three, can you read Johnable, please?
I get a conscience permanently. You let me speak.
Okay, thank you so much for reading number three sentence. Well, indignant means angry. All right. So number four, the silence of the forest was more oppressive than the heat. And at this hour of the day, there is not even the whine of insects. So what is the meaning of oppressive?
More heavily.
Yeah, it is more heavily. All right. So number five, Ralph had been deceived before now by the species appearance. So what is the meaning of species? It
Deceptive.
is deceptive. Great answer. Okay, number six. In page 49, chapter 3, as what you notice, Jack lifted his head and stared at the inscrutable masses of creeper that lay across the trail. So what is the meaning of inscrutable class?
Possible to understand.
Yeah, it is impossible to understand. Very good. Okay, number seven. As what you see in the sentence, here is ludicrous. When we say ludicrous, it is ridicule. Number eight, mutinously. So it is means that characterized by a rebellion against authority. Number nine, ululation. When we say ululation, it is high pitch. All right. So last word, Leviathan. So when we say Leviathan, it is the largest massive thing of its kind. All right. So can you please give me another word and the corresponding meaning? Anyone here in the class?
May I, miss?
Okay, go on.
Furtive means
Very
secret.
good. Yeah, you're correct. So now let us move on the comprehension activity. So when we say comprehension, it is the action or capability of understanding something. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So here, I have here the question and the corresponding answer. All right, so number one, why the backdrop of the war is significant in the story. So class, I prepared this comprehension activity so you can further comprehend what is the Lord of the Flies is all about. Okay, so please listen because after all of my discussions, I have to send you the assessment so you answer it quickly. All right. So number one, why the backdrop of the war is significant to the story. Yeah, it is very important because it is why the boys' plane is shot down, an event that kills the adults on the plane and leaves the surviving boys alone on the island. Number two question, does Rap survive? I explained it earlier that a Rap survived. And toward the end of the novel, Jack and his tribe hunt Rap in order to kill him. But some of the boys even start a fire to smoke Raph out of hiding. But in a panic, Raph runs down to the beach where he unexpectedly ends up at the feet of a naval officer who saw the smoke from the fire raging out of control on the island. The presence of an adult brings an end to the boy's savage activities and saves Raph's life. Number three question, how does Piggy die? So Piggy dies after being hit by a large rock that struck Piggy a glancing blow from chin to knee. Okay. So number 4 question, what does Simon want to tell to the other boys? So what do you think, class?
Truth about the beast.
Wow, very good answer. Yes, Simon wants to tell the boys the truth about the beast, who the boys think it is real. All right. So another question, what is the beast?
Aletlons.
Yeah, the beast is what the Latlands call the scary things in the night, and it soon represents the unknown and the boys' fears. Okay, number 6 question. Can you please read, Mark?
Why does Jack hate rock?
Okay. Why does Jack hate Ruff? Yeah, Jack, who is the head choir boy back home, thinks he should be the chief, but the other boys choose Ruff. So the tension between Ruff and Jack class grows because Jack has different priorities, all right? And Ruff also has his own priority. Number 7 question. Who is the first boy die on the island? Yeah, one of the Letlands. The boy with the mulberry colored birthmark is the first boy to die. Number 8 question. Why are Piggy's glasses significant? So what do you think?
To light fires.
Yeah, you're correct. Piggy's glasses are very important because they enable Raph's group to light a signal fire that can help them get rescued. Okay, so can you see my screen again?
Yes, miss.
Are you still listening?
Of course,
All
miss.
right. Number 9 question, what did Simon see at the top of the mountain? Okay, Simon is depicted as a Christ figure throughout the novel and is the only boy who truly understands the identity of the beast on the island. Okay, so number 10, why was a fire important? So fire represents a rescue and hope to the survivors. That's why the fire is very significant in the story. Number 11 question, what does Raph do to attract the boys' attention? Yeah, Raph attracted the other boys on the island by blowing into the conch that he and Piggy found, which produced a loud sound that could be heard from the miles. Okay, last question, class. What are the most significant events at the end of the chapter? Can you please enumerate?
The
How
boys are
about
rescued.
plates? Very good. And in addition with that, the most significant events in the story is Raph runs through the jungle fleeing both Jack and his pack of savage boys and the fire Jack set on the mountain. All right. So since I already discussed about the short story entitled The Lord of Vice, I have an assessment here. So as what I've said you earlier, that please listen to my discussion because I have two categories in my assessment. Here is summative and deformative. All right. So for your summative test class, the directions is answer the following questions. Write your answer in any piece of paper. So each question has 10 points. All right. The number 1 question, how did the boys happen to come to the island? Second question, what are the bodies of Simone and Pique? Third question, who obsessed with hunting for the pig? Fourth question, what is Ruff's role in this mini society? Last question, Piggy's glasses are symbolic of the tendency to overlook responsibilities. Is it true or false? Well, let us see your answer later on, okay? So for your formative test class, read the questions carefully and write the letter of the correct answer. So I prepared 5 questions here. So only 5 questions. And it's very easy because you know what? It's a multiple choice. So each question has 2 points, all right? So number 1 question, who is the first boy to disappear? A. Piggy, B. Letland, C. Simon, D. Clark. Okay, read it carefully. Number 2 question, where does the beast go during the day according to one lepton? And another question, third question, which character speaks to the Lord of the Flies? Fourth question, what lures the Navy ship to the island? And last question, what tool or tools do the boys use to make fire? Okay, so those are your assessments, and I hope you can get a perfect score because I explain you further about this story. And yeah, that's all for today class. So any clarifications, any questions?
None so far, Miss.
Anyone? Okay, so thank you so much for cooperating and thank you so much for your time class. See you next meeting. Bye.